Richie, huge game, I suppose. Essentially, it's like a cup final. I mean, Premier Division status depends on it. How big is it for the club?
Cullen feels that way this week. In fairness, you're preparing. It's kind of all or nothing kind of feel about it. So it has that cup final feel about it. But no, look, training's gone well the last couple of days, and I think we're fully prepared now for the challenge ahead of us.
Looking at Waterford as the opposition, obviously you were there on Saturday and you watched them. What do you make of them as a side? I mean, obviously the cup game was a 3-0 win, but do you think that maybe reflects them, or do you think that they could pull off a better result than that?
Oh, not at all. I think Waterford are a very good side. They've got some really good players in their squad. They've got a lot of Premier Division experience as well. Even when you look at the game the other day against Cove, and they're bringing on boys that have played in the Premier Division, so that shows you the strength in their squad, so they're more than capable of going Friday night and winning the game. It's up to us really in terms of how we perform to stop that, But look, I wouldn't read too much into that cup game really,
Obviously, you've probably been planning for the playoff for a while. Really, there was a slight possibility up until a couple of weeks ago that maybe it wouldn't be the playoff. But I think everyone, probably including yourselves, were resigned to the fact that there was a huge possibility you would be in the playoff. So, have you been looking at Waterford for a while now? Obviously, looking at all the potential teams that you could have played, Waterford, Cove, and so on, and you've analysed them quite well, I imagine.
Yeah, we've done the homework on all the 4 teams that were in the playoffs. I've been at games and so on, and watch games. I think most people at our level would do that anyway, and I think I'm sure they've done the same with us as well. And I know Keith Long was at the UCD game. I know Rennie's been at a few games as well. So they'll do their homework as well, and that's part of the job,
Obviously, the club spent 2 seasons in the first division a couple of years ago. It's not where anybody wants to be really. How much of a disaster would it be to go back down there, and how important is it for a club of Cork City size to stay in the Premier Division? And obviously, the priority is the game on Friday, but to stay in the Premier Division and push on next year and ensure this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, look, I've probably said that since I've come in, is that look, the club is a massive club and it should be in the Premier Division, but shoulds don't always get you there and all that, and there's things this year probably on and off the pitch that we need to get better at and stuff like that, and hopefully that the lessons have been learned. I think the lads have, bought into a lot of stuff that we're doing here and all the rest of it. So hopefully that we can win the game on Friday and then push on as a club, because what Friday can do is give us a platform to, as you say, to push on and so on, so that's going to be the objective: win the game, and hopefully as a club then we move forward.
Are you happy with the venue, Tallaght? Would you rather that it was a game in Munster for 2 Munster teams?
Look, it's probably, you look at it that way, to travel for the fans again and all the rest of it. It's not ideal that way, but then you look at venues and stuff like that, then probably closer and stuff like that. Was their venue suitable, for the size of the 2 clubs and so on? So look, they've made their decision. We just have to go with that, and look, in terms of a pitch and so on, it's a great pitch and all the rest of it, but probably just for travel and all the rest of it, it is a bit of bit awkward, for both clubs,
And you'll be well supported up there. I mean, despite performances on the pitch, the fans have been with you all the way through all season. There's been great crowds in Turner's Cross, and there's a few supporters going up now and all on Friday, so you should have a great crowd up there.
Yeah, no, it's like, as I keep saying, they're the best fans in the country. They support us up and down the country and so on, and it's incredible. You look at the first division last year, we had massive crowds in the first division, for games home and away and so on, and that's continued this year as well. And I know this year hasn't been what people wanted it to be and so on, but they've stuck with us and so on, and we appreciate that, immensely, and it's been great, but hopefully we can give them all a smile on their face on Friday, going down the road again,
And just finally, Richie, for me, is there any worries injury-wise or anything like that?
Kevin Kustovich probably is the biggest doubt at the moment, he's probably the one. We're waiting on a scan result today for him, so he's going to be really doubtful. We've 1 or 2 other lads with knocks and so on, but they should be okay. We'll know Thursday probably on that then, just the 1 or 2 doubts that we do have, that how they'll be. But no, look, the squad is healthy enough, yeah.
And just very 1 or 2 from the Bears perspective, I suppose, being in such a crucial game for the club, what does it mean to you guys to make sure the club stays in the Premier Division?
Yeah, everything. There's a good group of us who probably came towards the end of that first season in the first division, and then seen kind of the journey to get to the Premier Division and what it means to people, not just in the club but around the city. So no one underestimates how important it is to keep this club in the Premier Division, and especially us as players. It's our job to go and do that, and keep the club into the position that it is, and hopefully build off that again. So yeah, it's absolutely massive. And yeah, it's a huge game. But as I said, really looking forward to it, and can't wait to get started.
I think that's
Rich, have you thought about your starting 11 at this stage? Obviously, you have, but have you decided on it, or are there still one or two little positions up the ground, maybe?
It's close. It's close. Not quite there yet, but it's close. Yeah.
Yeah, scoring goals, which there's been a big problem for you of late, isn't it? Because you've drawn 6 blanks in the last 7. Is that a concern?
Not really, because we're creating chances. Look at the games, probably the cup games, Pats. The home game is Pats, Derry. The opposition that we're playing, like Rovers, even at the end of the game, Barry's unlucky not to score there, and so on. So there's been quite a few factors there that's probably been, why that stat is there. But no, look, if I'd be more concerned if we weren't creating the chances, But look, for me, it's hopefully that the boys have been holding on to them for Friday night, and if we do get into them positions that we have the composure to finish off the moves,
Yeah, I know we were talking about the cup game there. You wouldn't leave too much into it, but you started well in that game, and being 3-0 in the end, it was convincing. In the end, do you anticipate it'd be a different style of game and a different approach to that?
Yeah, look, I think so. Look, it's as you say, probably looking back in that game in August, that you look at it and probably Waterford were favourites going into the game, but they were bookies' favourites tonight, and and all the rest of it, and we put on a good performance, and we ended up winning the game. This game for me is that I probably look at it in terms of, if we perform, I'm confident that we can win. But if we don't, it's a game that Waterford can win as well. So it comes down to that, really, and I'm not saying that because Waterford are a first division side and all the rest of it that we should be winning. We should win if we perform, but if we don't, then they can win. So they've got 2 men in charge of them that have vast experience being around the league and so on. So I know, look, they're going to set up the team to beat us and all the rest of it, and tactically they'll be very spot on and all the rest of it. But look, the boys just have to trust, in their own ability and go to win the game.
Right, you wouldn't surprised, obviously, that. Sorry, I'll have to start again. Is that all right, Rich?
All right, just
sorry about that, please. Have you thought about your starting 11? Obviously, you have, Rich, but probably still 1 or 2 positions up for grabs, maybe.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 positions up for grabs at the minute, so we'll wait and see. We'll make a decision probably tomorrow or Thursday, on them last couple of positions. Obviously, I have to see just 1 or 2 that have knocks and all the rest of it, how they come through the rest of the week as well.
Yeah, and scoring goals has been a problem, which 6 blank sheets for you out of 7. Is that a concern then?
It'd be more of a concern if we weren't creating chances. Look at the games and the opposition that we played. We've created a lot of chances, and as you say, Barry was unlucky with a header there at the end of the Rovers game. You look at the Pats games, we created loads of chances in them games as well. It's just that it just hasn't fallen for us. So hopefully Friday night that the goals will come.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not surprised that Keith Long has been kind of building you up as the strong favourites and the underdogs. He was saying that in his own words that you're playing stronger teams every week and the pressure's all on Cork.
I wouldn't say the pressure's all on us with both full-time teams. As I say, they have a lot of Premiership experience within their squad as well, and all the rest of it. And as I said 3 months ago, they were favourites coming down to us, and everyone really was expecting a cup upset. So I don't know what has changed in the last 3 months to have a total flip around in that, you know what I mean? So as I say, look, if we perform to the levels I know we can perform, we have a very good chance of winning the game. If we don't, then Waterford have the quality to hurt us as well,
Yeah, what is the main threats of Rich? Seeing him obviously.
Look, obviously Colin scored a lot of goals this year, and his movement is decent. They've got good runners from midfield. They've got good individual players, Parsons and Adu, and and the lad Bagley in the middle of the park can play as well. He can see passes and all the rest of it. So you look at the game against Cove, they're able to score from a set piece as well. So look, they've got different threats all over the pitch and so on. So look, I'm not sitting here saying no, it's going to be a walk in the park. We're going to have to perform at our best to win the game on Friday.
Yeah, how big a role will fans be like your big fan base? How big a role can they play?
Massive, and you kind of see it and hear it around the places that buses have been organised and people are travelling and all the rest of it. Look, it's I know it's going to be, you know, tough on them again going up to Dublin and all the rest of it. But look, we know we'll have the fan base there, and you know it's great to hear and see, you know, and they're the soul of the club really, like, you know, and they're the ones that drive us every day, you know, to get better, and hopefully that we can stay in the division for them, you know.
Yeah, Barry, what's the feeling among the players, like in the group coming into it? What's sort of really the talk? It's just to do their stuff, like, and
Yeah, I think so. All we can do is, you know, control the controllables and do what we can do. You know, obviously the lads have, you know, given us the meetings, getting us prepared for it, and then having good pitch sessions during the week to get ourselves ready. But it's good. Everyone knows what's at stake. Everyone knows how important it is, individually and, you know, for the city and the club. So it's kind of that no one's underestimated in any way, shape or form, and just, I suppose, looking forward to it as well, and going, you know, trying to get that win for.
yeah, it's kind of important, like, to finish the season kind of with a bit of momentum. It didn't happen, like, and as I was saying, goals are hard to come by. Like, what's the feeling around that? That you obviously hope to finish strongly.
Yeah. In terms of results, it probably wasn't, but if you do look at the kind of performances, definitely in the last 4 or 5 weeks, I know the Bows game was obviously a blip, but you're probably maybe just trying to get through that without injuries, because you do know you've got a massive game around the corner. So if you do go back to the Pats games, Derry Rovers, obviously UCD, the performances were really good. We've kind of brought a good level of intensity to them games that we know if we can match that and go one more, we'll be well capable of winning this Friday. So I suppose we're taking positivities from them performances and just kind of hoping to, you know, repeat that again Friday night, and, you know, with a bit more hopefully class to score some goals.
Yeah, just the last one for me then. What type of game do you expect it to be? What, you know, from looking for Waterford and what they've done, what type of kind of game do you anticipate it'll be?
I think it'll be a good game. If you even go back to last year, I know sides have changed and managers and that, but that kind of rawness of two monster teams is always there. There's always a good bite in them. You know, we've got unbelievable fans and they bring a good crowd, so it's going to be a good, I'd say, very good contest. Hopefully a good game of ball as well. You know, two teams that, you know, have the quality to actually play ball. So I think it'll be a good game. Really looking forward to it, and yeah, to come out to the right side of it is the goal for sure.
And because live on TV won't have any pressure now.
I don't think so. I think everyone knows the pressure of it. Whether it's on TV or not doesn't really matter. It's about staying in the Premier Division at the end of the day. So that's all that you got to think about, and that's all that that's all that matters to us, is making sure that we are where we are next year in the Premier Division.
So we'll try that.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, cheers. Anyone on Zoom want to come in there?
Hi, I will, if it's okay, Aaron.
Yeah, we'll go in.
Hi, Richie, how's it going?
Oh, you're right.
Good. Just that there are obviously a lot of implications for the club hanging on one game, whether it's, you know, the budget and, you know, potentially jobs for people next season, whatever else. Do you stress that to the players about just how much is on the line, or do you try to shield them from that and just concentrate on the mechanics of a game and trying to beat an opponent? Or
My focus this week has been on the game, really. Anything else on the outside, that's really, you know, that's for other people to decide and all the rest of it, you know. So like if I take my eye off the ball and if I take my eye off Waterford then for a second, then, you know, I'm going down a dangerous road, you know. So look, we'll be just focused on the game, really. The futures and all the rest of it will take care of itself after that, you know.
Sure. And just on Keith Long's point, not necessarily about who's favourites, but is there a point to what he's saying that you've been playing against stronger opposition, so you're kind of hardened in a way that maybe his team aren't, where maybe the Galway games are the only kind of games that they've been really tested in the league in the same way you have over the course of the season? Or?
I wouldn't say that. I think that you look at the game on Saturday, that would have hardened any team, you know, like the pitch conditions and the emotion of being 2 minutes away from winning the game. And I think Keith said afterwards as well that they felt they had to win the game twice, you know. So they're coming into that game on Friday really hardened as well from that, you know. So look, obviously opposition in the Premier Division, you're playing week in, week out, is at a higher standard, and the intensity games are a bit of a higher standard as well. But as I keep saying, we need to get to that intensity to win the game. If we don't, they've got the players that can hurt you all over the pitch, you know.
Sure. And you mentioned Ron Collin earlier on, like his goals tally is fairly phenomenal. He wouldn't have been prolific in the Premier Division, would have been an okay scorer, but not prolific. How do you kind of view him as a player, and how do you go about trying to stop him?
very clever with his movements, very clever in around the box, very sharp, and you know, when he gets a chance, he's ruthless, you know, and he is that one when he can drop in as an extra midfielder at times, and he can get them playing, or he can work off the shoulder as well, you know. So no, he's a clever player, and I can see why he scored so many goals this year, you know.
Barry, just one for you, if that's okay. It's obviously been a kind of testing season with a lot of disruption. How challenging has that been for you as players, and you just hoping to get over the line and hoping then for better times ahead?
Yeah, for sure. There's no secret. It's obviously been a challenging season. Lots of up and downs, but certainly now is not the time to reflect on that. You go into Friday with a clear mind and a clear head to, you know, keep this club where it is, and then you've got 4 or 5 weeks to reflect on the ups and downs of that. But yeah, it definitely has been, but it's certainly not the time to think about it or dwell on that too much.
Sure. Thank you.
I'll come in if that's all right. Hey, Richie, John here.
Hey John, are you all right?
Good, thanks. And you?
Good.
Just on your squad, I know we spoke about Jaden the other night. I presume, is he not with you? Is he staying with the Ireland squad?
We'll see.
Okay. So he could be in the squad.
Could be, yes. We'll see. I watched his game yesterday, and he was very good, in fairness to him. And you know, he's really, really come on. You know, the last couple of months as well, playing with the 17s, Irish squad, and so on. So look, I'm kind of waiting on 1 or 2 as well. So we'll wait and see how that situation develops. You know.
And like overall, you have played a lot of young players recently. Is it a night on Friday for experience and nous?
Yes, in some moments, but in other, you can't beat that raw talent and them boys coming in with. They're coming in with no pressure or anything like that. You know, they're coming just to play. You know, and that way, you know, they've no baggage. You know, of the season gone as well. So you can look at it both ways, really, John. You know.
And just like from listening, you know, the comments the last few weeks, you did mention, you said you felt that the club didn't deserve to be in this position. Like, what did you mean by that?
Just the fan base, really. You know, the size of the club. You know, no, I'm not saying it can happen or can't happen or whatever like that. You know, but it's just the fan base and where we've been in the past and so on, you know. And look, I've no doubt we'll get back there, even if, God forbid, things go wrong on Friday and that we'll get back to where we've been. It might just delay it for a bit or whatever, but just the size of the club and so on, that we just need to get better and better and keep building on what we're doing and so on. So look, as I've said, is that the fans here are, you know, they'll come out in their thousands every week and so on, and that, you know, us as football people and stuff, that we just need to keep pushing the standards that we get the club back to where it belongs, you know.
And just finally for yourself, Friday could go to penalties. Have you been practicing?
No, not yet. No, we'll practice probably Thursday, I think, you know. So the sessions that we've done a lot of attacking and defending. Done attacking and defending session Monday, Tuesday there. So yeah, we'll look at doing something there maybe Thursday, you know. But it's very hard to recreate it as well with the pressure and all the rest of it, and with the personnel as well. You know, if it does go to extra time, you're probably looking at, you probably have to make a number of changes anyway. So it's probably be good for all the lads to practice, you know, and that as well, you know.
Very good, thanks. And Barry, just for yourself, I know we spoke to you at the start of the season, and you know the idea of Premier Division football was what you'd work towards. Has it been the experience? Has it been the level that you thought it would be?
Yeah, definitely. It's a brilliant league. It's growing basically every week. You're going to really unique grounds, packed with a couple of thousand people, and it's a competitive league as well. You know, if you look at the margin of games you've kind of won or lost, it's usually max kind of 1 or 2 goals, and in that you probably had chances as well. You know, so it's very tough in that sense. But yeah, absolutely. It's when you're in Ireland, this is the only league you want to be playing in. It's by far much better in terms of not just the football side of things, but you know, the actual excitement around games. You see it being on TV now, you see the kind of growth coming into the league, and being a part of that is really obviously quite exciting. But yeah, I suppose from a player's point of view, it's just about performing, and it is the next step, and that makes it more enjoyable as well. So Yeah, for sure. It's been a good experience and definitely one that good to have in your arsenal for sure.
And just finally, I know you had the injury there, and Richie had been carefully managing you coming back. How are you now? I know you would have had a few heavy pitches there the last few weeks as well. So how are you feeling?
Yeah,
from-
100%. Yeah, body's good. It was obviously that was a tough period, definitely for me. First injury in a couple of years, probably up there one of the worst times you could get it as well when things were probably in the melting pot at that stage. But no, as I said, the last kind of 2 weeks have been really positive in terms of getting a good 60, 70 and then a 90 minutes under my belt. So yeah, no, feel really good and yeah, body's prepped and ready to go.
So best of luck, lads.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Richie, how are you?
How are things, right?
Not too bad, thanks. Just a quick one on your current situation. You're still just up to the end of the season. Is there any change on that?
No change. No, so like I've committed to the end of the season, and hopefully on Friday night that things go the way we wanted to go down here and stuff like that, and then look, we'll see what happens after that, and I've had no conversations or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you think kind of Friday's match would have a bearing on your future in any way?
I hope not. I hope that people can see the work that's been done here, and obviously I've come in at a late stage as well. So, I probably mentioned on Friday night, it's been probably the most difficult job that I could have imagined to have at this stage of my career, and that whatever picking spirits up and all the rest of it. But I feel that, you look at the performance on the pitch and the lads have reacted well to what we're doing in here and so on, so look, it's I've enjoyed. I get out of bed every morning. I jump out of bed, and I love coming in here and stuff like that. But I'm not going to deny it's been high pressure and it's highly stressful at times as well. But look, hopefully that'll be all worked out on Friday night.
But enjoyable at the same time.
Yeah, no, you enjoy it. No, you enjoy. You enjoy the work. You enjoy going to the training pitch every day and all the rest of it, working with the lads and that, and that we're working together for that one goal. And that's to stay in the league. And for us, it's obviously been a difficult season, and it's been a difficult season for myself personally as well, and all the rest of it. But we'll forget about all that if we can pull off the result on Friday.
And just finally, if you do get the win, I mean, what would the overwhelming feeling be? Would it be one of celebration, joy, or just relief?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. Obviously you celebrate because of the pressure of the game. It feels, as we said, first question there was, does it feel like a cup final? It probably does, and you've got two big clubs fighting, and they'll give it everything on Friday to get that prize of the Premier Division football. But be relief as well, because as I say, is that there's a lot of good work being done in here and so on, and that you want to have that platform to push on now as a club.
Cool. Cheers and best luck.
Cheers.